Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a truly unique and fascinating journey. We've got this collection of insights that really delves into the profound concept of karma. We're looking at the lives of one specific family, you see, through this lens of cause and effect.
Right.
Our mission today is to unpack these deeply personal stories, try to understand the sometimes surprising connections, and see what these narratives tell us about the long-term impact of our actions, our intentions, maybe across lifetimes.
And what's particularly captivating, I think, about these accounts is how they present not just what happened in this family's life, but why. Always from this deeply rooted spiritual perspective.
Yeah.
It offers us a remarkable window into the, intricate workings of karmic principles. It kind of illustrates how different choices can lead to vastly different outcomes, often spanning generations and maybe even beyond.
Okay, let's start by unpacking the story of the father, then.
Yeah.
The narratives describe him as a man with a bit of a hot temper, prone to speaking his mind pretty bluntly, and someone who harbored a deep love for his cigarettes and, well, hard liquor.
Right. We hear he actually developed emphysema from the smoking and drank frequently, often to the point of passing out.
Oh, wow. Requiring the mother's constant care, even though he knew the damage he was doing to himself.
Yeah.
It really paints a vivid picture, doesn't it? A man wrestling with these deeply ingrained habits.
It's a classic human struggle, isn't it? Knowing something is detrimental, yet finding it incredibly difficult to break free.
Definitely.
And we learn his personal merit-making was quite limited, mostly just occasional almsgiving.
Okay.
But here's where the narrative takes a really pivotal turn. His most significant good deed, apparently, was giving his full support to his youngest son's ordination.
Ah, the Dhammayata monk.
Exactly. A dedicated spiritual practitioner committed to this specific path of intensive meditation. That was back in 22.
Right.
And this act was profound because it was his permission, his support, that actually introduced the entire family to Wat for Dhammakaya.
So that one act, given his lifestyle and, the limited merit, what did this mean for his afterlife?
Well, the stories tell us he died at 78 from the emphysema in 2527.
Okay.
And what's surprising, really surprising, is that upon his death, officials from Yomalok, that's the Buddhist underworld realm of judgment,
Right, Yamla.
they took him directly. No 7-day wandering period, which is usual, because his karmic account was, due.
Immediately. Wow.
Yeah, he was judged for ajinakama,
Which is?
major negative karma, specifically related to his alcohol and cigarette consumption, those persistent habits.
Okay. But wait, he supported the ordination? How does that factor in?
Well, this highlights a powerful karmic truth. Despite a lifetime of, frankly, negative karma, the immense merit generated from allowing and supporting his son's ordination. It was so potent.
How potent?
Potent enough that it effectively closed the door to the lower realms,
Yeah.
securing him a rebirth as a human.
Just like that.
It illustrates a profound principle, really. A single act of profound spiritual support can generate immense merit, enough to significantly alter one's karmic trajectory. It shows the supreme value placed on intentions that foster spiritual growth for others.
But the story doesn't end with a straightforward happy ending, does it? I mean, he got the human rebirth, but...
Right, there's a twist. He was reborn as a human, but with a significant consequence. He's now described as a 10-year-old boy, but intellectually disabled.
Ah, and that's linked back.
Yes, it's attributed to the residual karma, the hangover, if you will,
Yeah.
from his alcohol and cigarette use, specifically during the period before his birth when he was an ethereal being, Akaya Sampavesi.
A subtle body waiting for rebirth.
Exactly. So it's a striking reminder, isn't it? Even a powerful act of merit doesn't just wipe the slate clean. It doesn't erase all the imprints of past actions.
That really shows the nuanced nature of karma, I suppose.
Precisely. Where a major act of merit can secure a better rebirth. Yeah. But the subtle residue, these lingering effects of past negative actions, can still manifest in that new life. It's not an all-or-nothing equation.
Makes sense.
And we also hear that while he received merits sent by his living children,
They sent merits to him.
yes, but he could only comprehend a portion of them. Apparently because his mind in his previous life was so often clouded by alcohol.
So he couldn't fully receive them?
Not fully grasp their significance, perhaps. He was pleased by the merit from his son's ordination, though, that came through clearly.
Interesting.
And the accounts note that, maybe understandably, his children's focus on dedicating merit to him was a bit less intense than for the mother. Maybe because of the differences in their lives, how they were perceived.
Okay, so from the father's journey, partial redemption, that persistent karma, let's shift now to the mother's life.
Okay.
And she sounds like a truly remarkable individual.
Oh, definitely.
Described as kind-hearted, generous, loved by her neighbors, and incredibly industrious.
Relentlessly industrious, always busy. Gardening, sewing, making foods like desserts, steamed buns for festivals.
The accounts even mention her learning to draw intricate dragons and phoenixes for temple decoration.
Yeah. And becoming skilled as a carpenter and a cement worker with no formal training, just through observation and experimentation, apparently.
Yeah.
Incredibly resourceful, a dedicated person.
Her life really paints a picture of constant effort, self-improvement, especially, as you said, considering she often started working at 3 or 4 a.m.
Right, preparing noodles for sale. She had to support the family because her husband was often unwell from his drinking.
So she carried a heavy load.
A very heavy load. And she made merit in all forms, participating in Cathan ceremonies, Phapa donations, basically every kind of good deed imaginable.
And like the father, the son's ordination was important to her.
Oh, hugely. She was most delighted by her youngest son's 2 ordinations, the one in 2522 and then again in 2537. It shows this deep, abiding connection to spiritual practice, immense generosity.
But despite this incredibly diligent, virtuous life, she faced significant health challenges later on.
Yes, that's the difficult part of her story. The last 4 or 5 years of her life, she battled an enlarged heart, dizziness, knee degeneration, a lot of physical suffering.
She died in October 2541, but there's that poignant detail. She expressed a wish to live to celebrate the Maha Dhammakaya Satya.
Yes, and even when reminded she was a vice president for an upcoming Cathan ceremony, she smiled and nodded, showing that devotion right to the very end of her physical life.
Such a contrast, though. So much virtue, yet so much suffering at the end. How do the sources explain that?
Well, this is where it gets particularly insightful, karmically speaking. The narratives connect her health issues to a specific past life.
Okay.
In a previous life, when she was a farmer, she apparently overworked her animals, pushed them too hard to get more yield, denying them necessary rest.
Ah, so the overwork.
That past action, maybe combined with the physical demands of her own industrious life in this lifetime, manifested as the heart problems, the dizziness.
So it's like the exhaustion she inflicted came back to her.
That's the karmic principle illustrated here. The suffering or exhaustion one inflicts on others, even animals, can manifest as physical ailments in one's own body, often affecting areas linked to effort, burden, or vital energy, like the heart.
So even leading a virtuous life now doesn't erase those past imprints.
Exactly. We still carry them.
And there's that truly touching detail. The accounts confirm she did attend the Cathan ceremony in November 2541, just a month after she died.
Yes. How's that possible?
Well, it's explained as a testament to the power of intention, her spiritual connection.
Okay.
Because her heart was so deeply attached to making merit, and her children also strongly wished for her presence, she was able to manifest, to come in her celestial form for a brief moment.
Wow. So spiritual bonds can really transcend physical death. That's the idea illustrated here. And her rebirth reflects her merit. She was reborn in Davadung Heaven Phase 2.
Part of Tavatimsa heaven.
Correct, a realm of celestial beings.
Yeah.
Reborn as a goddess with a magnificent golden mansion.
A reward for her virtuous life.
Yes, and her state is apparently continually improving, getting more divine possessions due to her past merits and also the merits her children keep dedicating to her. So it shows this continuous upward trajectory based on sustained good deeds.
This family's stories are just incredibly rich, aren't they? Uncovering all these layers of cause and effect.
Definitely.
Let's dive into some of the more specific questions raised about their individual karmic threads. One really heartbreaking detail is the death of the third daughter at just 1 year old.
Yes. Very tragic.
What do the accounts say about something like that? Such a short life.
Well, this brings us into really complex karmic patterns involving multiple past actions weaving together.
Okay.
The explanation given is that in many past lives, this daughter had actually been a promiscuous man.
A man. Okay.
Yes, and in one of those lives, he also raised animals, like pigs, for sale to be slaughtered.
Ah, so 2 distinct karmic threads there. Promiscuity and causing animal deaths.
Exactly. 2 different types of negative karma interwoven to create this specific outcome in this life.
That's incredibly detailed. So how do those 2 threads specifically lead to her early death as a female child?
Well, the promiscuity karma is said to have caused her rebirth as a woman.
Okay.
And the Panathibard karma, that's the karma of taking life, specifically associated here with killing animals for profit, that led to her early death.
I see.
And the source even indicates this cycle, being reborn as a woman and dying young, will likely continue for several more lives.
Really? Until when?
Only when these two specific types of karma significantly weaken over time, will her lifespan increase.
And even then?
Even then, the residual effects suggest she'll likely end up with a promiscuous husband in a future life, directly mirroring her own past actions as a promiscuous man.
Wow. That's a very precise, almost direct reflection of past deeds, isn't it?
It seems so, according to this explanation. Very specific interconnectedness.
Okay. What about the youngest son, the monk? His deep devotion, his clear spiritual calling, that seems different.
Yes, his path is explained differently. He's described as having followed and made merit closely with the great teacher, a revered spiritual guide, and the monastic community for many, many lifetimes.
So a long history there.
A very long history. This powerful, long-term spiritual connection explains his current life's path, ordaining twice, performing duties near his spiritual teachers. It suggests this profound karmic resonance, a sustained aspiration to follow a spiritual path that is carried through countless existences.
That makes sense. Now, the family also had varying levels of education. Some highly educated, others less so. Is there a karmic reason given for that beyond just, individual effort or opportunity in this life?
Yes, there's a clear karmic principle outlined here, too.
Okay.
The accounts state that those who achieve higher education in this life are individuals who, in past lives, did two things. They diligently pursued education themselves.
Right.
And they actively supported others' learning, helped others get educated.
So it's a dual thing, personal effort and generosity towards others' education.
Exactly. That dual approach creates the karmic conditions for one's own intellectual growth to really flourish fully in future lives. If someone only did one, like pursue their own studies but didn't help others, or vice versa,
then their opportunities might be less abundant in this life.
That's the implication, yes.
Yeah.
Less access, maybe less aptitude.
Interesting. Okay, now for one of the most, striking stories. The devastating house fire. In 2520, at the Cobbenbury market, it destroyed the mother's home, all her life savings, an immense crushing loss.
Yes. Sounds absolutely terrible.
What's the karmic parallel here? It seems so random, so devastating.
Well, this offers a really powerful illustration of how destructive actions can echo across time, sometimes with surprising directness.
How so?
The karmic explanation given is explicit. In a past life, when the mother was a farmer, remember the farmer life?
Yes, where she overworked the animals.
Right. In that same life, apparently she had a dispute with a neighbor, and she set fire to their rice barn.
No. Really?
Yes. That act of arson, of destruction in the past, is said to have directly manifested as her own home being destroyed by fire in this life.
Wow. That is an incredibly direct connection, almost like a mirror image returning.
It demonstrates the potentially precise nature of karmic retribution, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A very clear cause and effect, according to this source.
Definitely. Okay, finally. Two of the siblings, the person who asked these questions and their youngest sister, they never married or had families.
Right.
What's the reason given for that significant life choice? It seems to go against, common societal expectations sometimes.
What's truly fascinating here, according to the narratives, is that it wasn't just a choice made freely in this current life.
Oh.
It was actually a deeply rooted intention, a vow almost, from a past one.
From a past life. How did that happen?
The narratives reveal that in a former life, these particular siblings experienced profound disillusionment with family life. They apparently had a promiscuous, alcoholic husband and very unruly children.
So a really difficult family situation.
Extremely difficult. They became so weary, so disillusioned with the struggles of family life, that they made a strong vow, or maybe a prayer, during every merit-making ceremony they performed back then.
What was the vow?
That they would not have a family again. They wished strongly to be free from those kinds of relationships and responsibilities.
And that powerful intention, repeated over time.
Exactly. Solidified through repeated vows, it carried through energetically, karmically, to this current life, shaping their present circumstances, their inclinations, their preferences away from marriage and family.
Incredible how deep these connections can go. So, given all this, if these siblings now wish to continue their spiritual journey, maybe build merit with the royal son, which seems to refer to a revered spiritual teacher or lineage leader, what should they do now to ensure their path continues in the way they aspire?
The guidance given is quite clear, quite direct. They should simply continue making all forms of merit they can with the royal son, and crucially, consistently dedicate their intentions or, pray to be reborn together again, to continue this path of merit-making.
So keep building the positive karma and keep setting that intention for the future.
Precisely. It reinforces that idea we keep seeing. Unwavering intention combined with consistent positive action are absolutely key. They shape future experiences and ensure a continued spiritual trajectory. It's really about aligning your present actions with your highest aspirations for the future.
This deep dive has really shown us just how intricate and, well, far-reaching this web of karma can be, hasn't it?
Absolutely. It's quite profound when you see it laid out like this.
I mean, from a father's seemingly small act, supporting his son's spiritual path, opening the door to a human rebirth, even with lingering effects.
Right. To a mother's past actions as a farmer, shaping not only her health decades later, but also leading to that devastating house fire.
And even deeply personal choices, like whether to marry or not, being rooted in these ancient vows or intentions, it all connects in ways you might never normally expect.
It really highlights that our actions, our thoughts, our intentions,
Yeah.
they aren't just isolated events, are they? They're like powerful seeds being planted constantly, seeds for future outcomes, sometimes across many, many lifetimes.
Yeah.
It really encourages us to reflect, I think, on the ripple effect of every choice we make, the big ones and the small ones.
And maybe to consider the long game, the long game of our spiritual journey.
Understanding these principles gives you a really profound lens to view your own life and maybe the experiences of people around you too.
Definitely.
So as you listening reflect on these stories, what stands out to you about this interconnectedness of cause and effect, maybe in your own life or in the lives you observe around you? And thinking about planting those seeds, what intention or what seed of action might you choose to plant today for a future you envision, not just for yourself perhaps, but maybe for those you care about too? A powerful question to ponder.
Thank you for joining us on this pretty profound deep dive today. We really hope it's given you some new perspectives to consider.